This is the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast, the place where local businesses and neighbors come together. Here's your host, Dory Stewart.
Welcome back to another episode of the FXBG Neighbors Podcast, where we share the stories of our favorite local brands. I have a special guest joining me today. We have Juanita Shanks joining us, and she is with Failsafe ERA. Juanita, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, Dory, for having me.
I'm really excited to dive in and learn more about you and about your organization.
Sure.
So let's start there. Share with us all about Failsafe ERA.
Gladly. So, Failsafe ERA, we've been in existence since 2009, and we provide support and services to families and individuals that have been impacted by incarceration. So, we're going into the jails to teach and train to help them change their thought processes, their behavior, their attitude. And then once they are released either from jail and or prison, they become out there. We consider them returning citizens. And then we continue with their healing process. And that looks like mental health support. We have our Courage to Change interactive journaling program that's also in the jail. But in addition to that, they continue once they reenter back into the community. We also have second chance employers that's working with us so that they can get some employment once they're back out in the community. We have some second chance landlords, not a lot. Housing is an issue, but we do have some second chance landlords. And then we also just case management, working with them on a weekly basis, setting goals, helping them to meet their goals. And then once they meet their goals, they're inducted into our Hall of Change to become an agent of change. And then they go back and they get the wounded. So that's what we do for I call them residents of the jails and the returning citizens. And then we also work with the families because the families are just as impacted by their loved ones that are incarcerated. And so we work with the family members to provide them with social support, social emotional support training. We have a support group that meets on the third Saturday of the month. We also have our youth program. So it's about the entire family. It's a holistic approach to incarceration for the entire families so that we can ultimately bring healing to our communities.
What important work you are doing. I'm so impressed by the wide range of services you offer. So you're not just helping them when they first get out, but you're helping them continue on and you're staying with them. That's really important work. I'm
Yeah.
impressed.
Yeah, and it really begins, I often say that the reentry begins when they're arrested because we
Okay.
need to catch them before they're coming even back out here into the communities if we can. And even before then, where we're working with the kids, the youth, the families, we want to prevent, right? So we're all about prevention and reentry. So we just want to make sure that they have the resources and the tools so that they
Mm-hmm.
can come back into our society and our communities and be successful. I mean, they're going to
Yeah.
come home, right?
Mm-hmm.
They're coming home. Department of Correction says over 90% are going to come home one day.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
we need to make
Yeah.
sure that we have some resources and tools in place so that they can be successful when they do reenter back into the communities.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You're amazing, and I want to learn more about you. Tell me what gave you the passion and the drive to do something like this.
Well, I will start by saying it was not my life dream.
Okay.
This was not something I said when I grew up. I want to be a reentry nonprofit founder, director, or founder or director of a community reentry organization.
Mm-hmm.
I happened to be the founder as a result of walking through the criminal justice system with my son. So it
Mm-hmm.
started back in 2004. I think he graduated from high school. He was an honor roll student. He was on a basketball scholarship, raised up in a two-parenting home, doing all the right things as well, for the most part, all the right things that a kid can do. But
Mm-hmm.
he had the dream home life, right? He went off to
Mm-hmm.
college on his basketball scholarship, and he came back a drug addicted dealer. And that
Wow.
changed the trajectory of his life. And so from that point forward, he was basically in and out and in and out of the system up
Mm.
until he passed away on January 21st of 2021 of a brain aneurysm, one day before going to court.
Oh my goodness. Oh my
So
goodness.
he's the reason why Failsafe started, because
Mm-hmm.
this was not something that I would not wish this on any parent. I didn't know how to deal with it once, I got that one collect call. This is from it was from, at that point, the Alexandria Detention Center. I didn't know what to do with that information. That
Yeah.
hit me, and it was like it just hit the pit of my stomach, and it was just
Mm.
coming up through everywhere. Just you could just I didn't know how to deal with that. And it was
Mm-hmm.
just, there was a lot of emotions involved in that. I was angry with him because in my mind he did not need to commit these crimes. Even though I had to learn and realize that the crimes that he committed were all drug related. He needed treatment. He didn't really need
Right.
incarceration, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then so I had anger. There was shame because I'm a federal government employee at the time. I retired in 2017, but I was a federal government employee, a leader in the government,
Mm-hmm.
and I had a kid that's in prison, but I wouldn't tell anybody. And
Mm-hmm.
so nobody knew until I retired out of government because I was ashamed. And so that's something that
Wow.
families walk through, is the shame. And then so you have the anger, you have the shame, you have the guilt, because you think about, I wonder if uh, had I done this, or maybe if I could have or should have done that, maybe he would not have made the decision.
Mm-hmm.
So as I walked through all of that, there was no fail-safe error to help me
Right.
through this. I didn't know what to
Mm-hmm.
do. So all I knew is that I needed somebody to help me walk through this process, because at that point we were almost about to lose our home paying lawyer fees. I
Right.
did. I kept paying these lawyer fees because I wanted to help, right?
Right.
And so at some point you have to recognize that you have to stop. You're
Mm-hmm.
just going to have to stop and help them to learn a lesson. And then, and learning that lesson may be that you don't always pay for that lawyer fee. But that's what I did. As a mom, he was my first son, my firstborn and only son. And
Mm-hmm.
so I wanted to help him.
Yeah.
And so I started this organization him, to give us what I felt like we needed. For me, it was a support group, and that's how we started, was a support group. But little did I know, at that time, the other parents were just like me. They were not
Mm-hmm.
coming out because they are
Mm-hmm.
ashamed. They do not want anybody to know that they have a loved one that's incarcerated. So I began to go into the jail, the Rappahannock Regional Jail, and thought that I can
Mm-hmm.
get to the parents that way, but that didn't happen. As it turns out,
Yeah.
that at that point we recognized that the entire family needed help. So
Mm-hmm.
I just built what I felt like we needed: a support group for the
Mm-hmm.
families, mental health for the incarcerated, educational opportunities. So we partnered with Jemana for educational opportunities. They need employment, they need substance abuse, they need housing. So all of these are the things that we offer in Failsafe. In my mind, at that time, is what was needed to make him whole. And I've learned that through our clients, it is definitely what is needed for our returning citizens, to help them to become whole. So that's how Failsafe got started. In
Yeah.
2009, I built what I felt like we needed as a
Mm-hmm.
family.
Wow. Wow. My
Yeah,
heart goes out to you.
thank you.
And it's interesting, most nonprofits are built because of something that someone never expected they were going to have to go through.
Yeah,
And so, what a gift, though, you are to families now that you
thank you.
have built this program. And
Thank
my brother was incarcerated right before he graduated from high school. And I
you.
understand the financial stress and burden and
It's a lot.
the emotional toll on the whole family.
It's a
As his
lot.
sister, it was very confusing, as a young person. And I just applaud what you're doing. And so
Thank
I,
you.
I would love to learn, you know, listeners, people listening right now,
Mhm.
if they are interested in getting involved, what are some ways that the community can help your cause?
Wow, so many ways, so many ways. We need lots and lots of help. And when I say that, we need help. Uh, we need financial support. We don't charge our clients anything. So we provide the training in the jail, and those, that's several hundred inmates that participate in this training. Those booklets cost us $7 per person. So we need help with the training. That same training is also out in the community. This training is evidence based. It was developed by probation officers. It makes a difference. We have several people that have gone through the training and they're out here and they're successful. So, that training, first of all, to help with the cost of the training and other resources, we need help facilitating those trainings in the jail. We need help facilitating that training out here in the communities. We need help working with our families, our support group. We also have the our youth empowerment is another initiative that we've launched, sounding the alarm, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in a little bit. But it is on youth empowerment, helping our youth so that they don't follow in mom and dad's footsteps, right? So that they don't make bad decisions. So we need help with managing our events. We need grant writers. We need marketing is key. We need people to help us with marketing. Again, so we need donors, we need supporters, we need case managers, we need event persons to help with events. We need facilitators. If I didn't say that, I know I probably said it 3 times because that's how much we need them.
Yeah. Mhm.
Case managers, all of those things that will help us to continue to make an impact in our communities. And I will tell you that we're doing good. We're doing good. And I think we're doing good. We are just beyond blessed with the team that we have. But because the majority of our team are members with lived experiences, we are.
Mhm.
This is what makes us a success in our recidivism rate at 4%, because
Yeah.
they can relate. They can relate.
Mhm.
So, not that we're saying those are the only types of people that we would like to have help from. We want them, but we want others. We also have people who's never been impacted. And when they
Mhm.
join our team, it's like an aha moment. They realize that, oh boy, these really
Mhm.
are just people who made a bad decision.
Right.
These really are people who just made they messed up,
Yeah.
but it does not define who they are.
Mhm.
So we just need people who have enough passion and understanding that everybody deserves another chance. Those are
Mhm.
the kinds of people that we need help from.
Mhm. And is where should people go to learn more and to connect with you? Is all of this listed on your website?
It is. It's at failsafe-era.org. So that's failsafe-era.org, failsafe era. And you can
Amazing.
find all the information. They can go there, and register to become a volunteer, to learn more about us, to make a donation, anything, everything helps because again, this is a community issue, so it's going
Mhm.
to require the entire community. We
And when
can't
you
do it
say
alone.
community, so Fredericksburg, Stafford County, Spotsylvania County, is that kind of the geography that you are
Mhm.
concentrated on?
We service all of Planning District 16, so Stafford, King
Okay.
George, Caroline, Fredericksburg, and Spotsylvania. Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Okay. What is something that you wish the listeners knew about Failsafe Era?
That um, that fail-safe era is necessary.
Mm,
It is needed in our community
mhm,
because people are going to come home from incarceration. And when they come home from incarceration, they need resources, they need support, they need someone to get behind them to help guide them, and that it can happen to anybody.
mm,
We can never say those people. This was certainly not what I thought would have happened to me. And I know too
no.
many other people that would say I would never have imagined. And I will tell you the thing that's really pushing a lot of people today is mental health. So you can easily find yourself or your child or your grandchild incarcerated because of a mental health crisis that caused them to do something that 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 allowed that forced them into being incarcerated.
Yeah.
So it can happen to anybody. And so I just want the community to understand the importance of the work that we do,
Hmm.
and it is necessary because again, 90% of people are coming home from jail and prison. And we cannot, Failsafe ERA cannot do it alone. We need
Yeah.
the community support. We need the community's buy-in to understand that crime is going to happen. I had a, God rest his soul, one of my board members, Bobby Anderson, awesome gentleman, best, kindest heart. He was one that had never been impacted, right? But he
Hmm.
sat in on one of our Toastmasters programs and he listened to our clients tell their stories. And from that day forward, his heart was changed. He saw that these are people that they had trauma in their lives as a child, maybe coming up, that
Hmm.
caused them to make some bad decisions, injuries, any of those things that can cause you to change your an injury to your head can cause you to make a bad decision.
Yeah.
He saw that these were people who had some maybe troubled childhoods or something happened. Nobody's born bad.
Right.
Something happened that caused them to make the decision that they made, but yet they're still a human being. And he saw the human side. And that's what I would like the community to see is the human
Hmm.
side of people.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
all deserve another chance. Some people need more than one, but
Hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Everyone deserves a chance. I love
yeah,
that. I love
yeah.
that. Well, I'm going to put all of the contact information on how people can help in the show notes. And Juanita, I want to thank you for joining me on the podcast today. And this is such an important issue. You are an angel. The work that you are doing is just it is a community issue and it affects all of us. And thank you for the work that you're doing and thank you for joining me on the podcast.
Thank you so very much, Dory, for having me.
You're welcome.
Thank you for listening to the Fredericksburg Neighbors Podcast. To nominate your favorite local businesses to be featured on the show, go to fxbgneighborspodcast.com.